Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boys Are Back in Town podcast. My name is Dustin. I'm here with my co-host.
Hey guys, it's Brett. We're going to go ahead and get started today with our starts and sits. Dustin, what are a few of your starts?
Starts? Okay, so it is week 2. Last week we kind of had a weird week in the NFL. I'd like to think. I don't think any of the actual dogs that we drafted went out and had a killer week, except for maybe Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, some wide receiver dogs. But we had guys like Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller that just didn't really pan out week 1. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't sell your dogs, okay? Don't go and trade them for some 4th or 5th round players just because they had one bad week. Okay, now that being said, my first start is going to be Breece Hall. So last week he was a sit for me. Terrible decision. He is clearly the RB1 in that offense. And now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, they're probably going to stick to the run game. I really like to start Breece Hall or even Dalvin Cook. I bet that committee backfield just absolutely gets so many reps. It's going to be a good look.
Okay. My first start is going to be Anthony Richardson, mainly because of the groundwork. And Anthony Richardson, let's see, they're playing
Texans.
Texans.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not that hard. He had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown last week, and I just think that he'll be a pretty good start compared to some of these other guys that really bummed out last week.
My only problem with Anthony Richardson is that he left last week's game with a bruised knee or something.
Yeah,
he's not on any injury list for this upcoming week. But I don't know if that's going to be a lingering thing now. I know bruised things can be whatever, but they're probably just being precautious and more than likely going to be a loss to the Jags. So
yeah, that's what I assume. Even though the Colts will beat the Texans, I believe, but what should have been a much further away game against the Jaguars.
Yeah, he kept them in it. So yep. So I assume you probably had this cat as well. Nobody seen this thing coming. I know I didn't, but I'm a huge fan. I got Puka Nacua. 10 receptions, 120 yards. I personally didn't even know about this cat until I flipped onto the Rams game and seen him catch his fifth target for his 60th yard of the game. I was like, dude, Puka Nacua, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have him in my starts, but I definitely picked him up in waivers everywhere I could, even in our own league. I ended up with him, and I may end up starting him this week actually. Over somebody like Najee Harris or something, but I still haven't decided yet.
Until Cooper Kupp comes back for me, I think he's got to be in your must starts until proven otherwise,
And Cooper Kupp isn't guaranteed to come back week 5. He's not guaranteed. He could, the Rams are in LA. There's a lot of good doctors in LA. Why does he need to travel halfway across the country to go see a specialist, unless it's something super serious.
Right.
But my next start, Jamal Williams, really, really bummed last week. They're playing the Panthers, and he's going to have a massive workload, with Alvin Kamara still suspended.
Yep.
And the Panthers allowed 131 rushing yards between Bijan and Tyler Algier, and I just think that he'll get most of that work because he's an early down grinder.
Yeah, I agree, but let's not discredit what Algier and Bijan did last week. They looked great.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's just the Panthers' defense that's a little shoddy, but Bijan and Tyler Algier are probably, if you got a deep league, I'm saying, maybe 12 to 14 team league, Algier might even be a decent start for you. But not in 10 team leagues. Let's keep that cat on the bench. My next start, I got another receiver here. We got Nico Collins. Mainly because of production value last week. and they're going up against the Colts. I personally like him. I'm going to start him in my league. He's clearly the favorite target for Bryce Young. No, not Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. And I didn't get to watch any of the Texans game. I didn't watch it, so I didn't actually get to see any of the value. I just seen the aftermath, and I was like, wow, I'm glad I drafted this kid.
Yeah, the only concern I have is when or if that one kid comes back, the one that had the cancer.
When did
John
he go
Mechie.
down? Oh,
John
Mechie, yep.
Yeah, but otherwise than that, I think Stroud can get him the ball in a probably, I'd assume, will be a shootout with the Colts.
Yep. Two rookies going at it. Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah. My next start, Jordan Addison. He looked really good last week. Got a lot more work than I thought he would, and he should get more work this week against the Eagles, which I will assume will be a shootout.
Yeah.
Especially with all the good corners locking up Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what I actually had that down as well. I had Addison because of the fact that Justin Jefferson will probably get double teamed the entire game. Not double teamed, it'll probably be corner and then safety over the top. And then if you have Addison in the slot, Addison can get open on some in routes, some crossers, and then he should, have a pretty decent day, especially on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game. I think it's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, great game. We can get into in our game picks. I might have a surprise or shocker for you. So, yeah. My last start, I had 5, but I got Pacheco. I'm normally very hard on Pacheco, but I think with the loss last week to the Lions, the Chiefs will try to get into more of a grind and run it down instead of just trying to pass the ball all 3 downs and then, see what happens. Especially with Kelce being back, I feel like the linebackers aren't just going to straight blitz or just straight pressure Mahomes. Mahomes is running for his life, honestly. So I think if they get a running game available, they will put Pacheco in there. I know CEH got the start last week, but he didn't really do much of anything, just like CEH does. I don't know why they keep teasing CEH in there. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't like Pacheco, mainly because it's definitely a 3-headed backfield. And the Chiefs, who are they playing next week? Or this week? Oh, Jacksonville. Yeah, that's the reason why I'll just a little preview. I have Pacheco in my sits.
That's fair. I mean, I just think to get something going, I think they'll go back to the ground game after opening it up with Travis Kelce.
I think Kelce's going to be back. So with Kelce being back, I assume that they'll be their normal 3-headed backfield, McKinnon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah, and it did shock me that Edwards-Helaire got the start.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on here? I think everybody in the fantasy world was.
Edwards-Helaire had a target and 6 carries, and McKinnon, I don't think he got any carries.
No, McKinnon had like 3 points.
But he had 2 targets. And I don't know how I feel about Pacheco, honestly.
But the only reason I personally don't like the cat, but I do think that they go to Pacheco to try and get some 4-yard runs, some 5-yard runs, just absolutely bullnose it like they did all of last year. I don't know why they got away from that, but they did. So we can.
Yeah, my only problem is that Pacheco rushed 8 times and Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushed 6 times. So I don't know.
Well, they got away from it. They were passing the entire game at halftime. Basically, they were just passing the ball all 3 downs.
Yeah,
it was confusing.
You good to go to sits?
Yes, sir.
All right, my first sit is gonna be my guy, Dak Prescott. we're playing the Jets, and that's a tough defense anyway.
Yep.
You know, and this game could get out of hand pretty quick when we saw how bad that offensive line is. And I just don't think Zach Wilson's going to be able to get the ball to Garrett Wilson. I don't think he's going to be able to get the ball anywhere. I think it's going to be a rough game for the Jets, and Dak's going to pretty much just be handing off the ball the whole time, and you know how that can turn out, don't you?
Yep, sure do. That game was turned off at halftime. Yeah, I don't mind Dak being sat here. Also, on the other hand, we said it kind of from the Dallas fans' perspective, but from someone who watched the Jets D absolutely make Josh Allen look like a punk.
Yeah.
It could, if the Jets are in it by keeping the score low, there's a good chance that Dak makes some mistakes. That's all I'm gonna say.
I could see him forcing the ball too much and throwing some interceptions, but I really hope that's not the case.
My first sit, I got Drake London. I was really high on Drake London coming into the season, but it's starting to look like I don't know if I can trust him. I don't like his quarterback situation. That's the reason why I didn't draft Pitts. I'm not a big Pitts guy anymore, is because I seen this play where Pitts absolutely shattered a dude and was wide open, and Ritter still can't get him the ball. So I'm afraid that no matter how open London will be, he's going to check it down to Bijan or hand the ball off the entire game. So I don't think he threw a pass over 15 yards on Sunday against the Panthers, and the Panthers are not that great. So I don't like Drake London this week.
Okay, my next sit was Isaiah Pacheco, and like we were talking about before, it's a three-headed backfield playing the Jaguars, who shut down the Colts' run tremendously. It was bad. Between Deion Jackson, Evan Hull, and Anthony Richardson, they all didn't get to run very much. But I'm just not about it with this split backfield, especially with Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the first few carries.
Right, yeah, it's definitely going to be a questionable one. It'll either be a hit or a miss, but that's what we're here to provide. So my next one, I got a tight end here. I'm trying to stay like it. No tight end had a good week last week. So I think the top tight end, what 50-something yards? I don't know if you've seen that stat. It was pretty bad. It was pretty abysmal. But I have Tyler Higbee here. I think that they are going to try to move the game into the run game. I've seen like Kyren Williams went up by like 46% ownership this week. So I think that they try to give him the ball a little more, because whenever he gets the ball in his hand, he does look pretty good. But Tyler Higbee's pass share in that offense isn't very good. I think he got like 4 or something targets with like 3 catches. Not a bad performance comparable to the first week tight ends, but going forward, it's just not going to hold up.
Right. Yeah. I kind of like Higbee, but I do see where you're coming from, though, because, well, my main thought process was that they're going to be guarding Puka Nacua way more,
Yeah, but are they? Like, he had a good week 1, but I didn't honestly see any crazy skill sets that just made him an insane mismatch. Like, he's not like a crazy, I'm a huge fan of him, don't get it twisted. I hope he has a great week. He's not like a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type talent. He's kind of like, he did his job and he was open where he needed to be open, and Matt Stafford got the ball to him because that's what Matt Stafford does. So I don't think he creates any double teams, or he is like some crazy mismatch to where Tyler Higbee is going to get all the open looks. I just don't think so.
Yeah. Do you know who the number 1 and number 2 tight end fantasy are, right?
I know number 2's Ingram. I can't quite remember. Or is number 3 Ingram? Hunter Henry is number 1. Yep.
And Hayden Hurst.
Hayden Hurst.
Yep.
Well, Hurst got himself a tutty, so that helps.
Yeah,
I was
5
looking
catches
at
too.
yeah. Oh, he
Yeah,
had a pretty
but yeah,
decent week then.
yeah. In the top 4 tight ends is Hayden Hurst, Hunter Henry, and Donald Parham.
Fucking Donald Parham.
Yeah,
And it would
and
have
then
had to been
Evan
because he got a
Ingram,
tutty, huh?
Cole Kmet, Blake Bell, Sam Laporta, Harrison Bryant, Adam Troutman, Logan Thomas, Zach Ertz, Luke Musgrave. Like, do you hear any top names in any of those other than Hawkinson at 3 and
No.
Ingram at 7?
I
Like,
yeah, it was a weird week for tight ends for
like
sure.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Higbee could have a decent week. But my next sit is a very controversial one. It's Garrett Wilson.
I don't mind
I
it.
I think Garrett Wilson is quarterback proof, except for Zach Wilson. If you go back and look at the stats, when Zach Wilson was playing were Garrett Wilson's worst games. If Mike White was playing, or was it Flacco some?
Flacco got the ball to
Flacco
Wilson,
and
yeah.
Mike White were playing, Garrett Wilson was having a day. Zach Wilson, no.
Yeah, Mike White's an absolute dog,
So,
though. So.
in either way, Dallas is going to do some hampering on the Jets offense anyway. So, I'm sure Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs, one of the two will be on Garrett Wilson every play. So, just depending on what happens, I still think Zach Wilson will have a very tough time, will not have any time to throw the ball.
Yeah, I doubt Garrett Wilson breaks the 10-point mark. So I
Yeah,
did
me
just
neither.
reject a trade offer coming in for Garrett Wilson, which I'm sure everyone's trying to get rid of Garrett Wilson right now. So not a. But it's also one of those where you don't go and trade your dogs. Okay, you let it see what happens. All right, see if Zach Wilson comes out of his shell a little bit. But I don't think it's going to be a good look. Just don't trade Garrett Wilson yet. Okay,
Nope, nope.
just don't do it. My sit, I was big on this guy. I'm kind of bummed out. I finally got him off the waivers after on Sunday. I got Jalen Hyatt. I don't see how he fits into the Giants' offense yet. We were talking about trying to get a speed threat. We got him. We can't get him the ball because our offensive line is horrible. So yes, he has the upside potential, but we've been talking about upside potentials with Giants receivers since Kadarius Toney, and personally, I'm kind of sick of it. All right, so until a Giants receiver proves that they can do something and make a productive offense for me, I'm not going to start Giants receivers. Barring Darren Waller,
Yeah.
he's still a starter for me.
Yeah, for sure, Darren Waller. Yeah, I don't blame you there, honestly. My last sit is Juwan Johnson. Um, Panthers defense is pretty good against the pass. You know, J.C. Horn, and there's some other guys I
J.C.
can't remember
Horn
their
might not be
names.
playing.
Really?
Yep,
Well, that still don't make me feel any better.
he's
Um,
questionable. He's not
I
out
think
out.
the Saints are going to just run, 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 run.
Yeah,
Um, so I don't see them using Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed, and Juwan Johnson. So
no,
I was pretty
they
big on him. I was pretty big on him last week, especially playing him a lot in DFS and stuff. But he's a sit for me this week.
Yeah, I think you were going more for the Darren Waller needs the next tight end, the next guy up, like kind of like a Darren Waller type to get him going. He didn't need that. He had Rashid Shaheed threw bombs to him. Okay, Derek Carr had a pretty good week, and I think the Saints are in for a fun season, to be honest.
Same.
So that will wrap up our starts and sits. You ready to get in some game picks?
Well, let's do it.
All right, so tomorrow night we have probably gonna be the most over. I think it's gonna be the easiest game to bet the over on that we're gonna have all week. We have the Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who do you
Oh
got?
hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah!
So I did go back and forth for a while, and I am going with the favorite. I am going with the Eagles.
Yeah. I'm just going to go off you here. I'm going to go with the Vikings. So they are a 6.5-point dog, but I feel like they're going to get some kind of offense going against the Eagles. The Eagles have a lot of people on the injury list this week. I don't think that's actually going to matter at all because most people are going to play because nobody was actually out. What I am nervous for is the Vikings starting, what was it? It was like tackle. It might have been starting guard is out. So Jalen Carter might be feasting. I'm scared that Jalen Carter is going to put up 3 sacks. But I will stick with the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Madison's going to shit the bed. I should have put him as one of my sits, honestly. I was just trying to stay with one running back. But yeah, no, the Vikings, they're going to throw the ball lots. There's going to be lots of sacks. There's going to be no run game.
I disagree. I think they get Madison going again. He had a pretty good week last week. But it's against the Eagles, so we'll see how that goes. Who do you got for your first Sunday game?
So on here, it shows the Ravens-Bengals, but
yeah, that's who I got.
Yeah, we can do that one. I've got the Ravens beating the Bengals.
I'm gonna go against you again here. The Bengals had a really bad week last week. This might be the story for the entire list for me. I think all the good teams are going to bounce back. I got the Bengals beating the Ravens and covering the 3.5-point spread.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
What's your next team here?
We got the Bears versus the Bucks.
Bears, Bucks. Yep. I mean, this one's pretty easy for me. I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah, me too. I'm all 100% on the Bake Show right now, man.
Let's go, Baker.
Man, I am on the Bake Show. He told that little Vikings DB, I don't even remember who it was, get your weight up, little boy. I'm like, oh, brother, I'm on the Bake Show again, man. You got me in. You son of a bitch.
Ago, Cody was like, you guys got to talk about Baker. So here I go.
Man, I loved every second of it.
Week.
Oh, God, I hope so, man. God, I hope so. And the Bears are not looking good. So, next game, I got Packers versus the Falcons.
So, pretty easy for me. I'm going Packers because I became a Packers liker this year for some reason after watching Jordan play. But I don't know. I'm going Packers.
The spread is 1 point, and I find that incredibly unbelievable. I think the Packers are going to expose the Falcons here. The Falcons are not a complete team. The Packers are close. I think the Packers are now a playoff team after dropping 38 last week, and Jordan Love stepping up to the plate. I got the Packers here. 1 point spread, so it really doesn't matter. Take the money line on Packers,
Easy.
Next one, we were talking about it. We have a lot of fantasy players coming in and out of this one. Colts, Texans.
Yeah, probably the worst game of the week. But it could be a good game. It's just 2 shit teams. Either way, I'm going with the Colts.
Yep, I'm going to take the Colts here. And I'm going to go with the under 39.5 points. That game, I don't know. It could score 25-25, but I doubt it. I'm going to say that game goes 21-10. So.
Yep. I could see that way more. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
under
there.
Especially since the Colts put up a fight with the Jags.
Yep. 100%.
That's the thing. All right. Next, what is it? Chiefs, Jags.
Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
It is the Chiefs.
Yeah, there's no reason that the Jags should beat the Chiefs.
Except for one. Trevor Lawrence MVP. I'm going Jaguars, baby. I think Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Evan Ingram, Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, dogs. All right? Jaguars at home. Give me that.
Yeah, no.
Yes, sir.
I would take the over on that 51, though.
I do like the over. That game is going to have no defense played, especially after the Jaguars led up 21 points to the Colts. So that game is going to...
Maybe we'll agree on this next one. Chargers, Titans.
Yeah, this one's going to be pretty easy for me. Chargers had a bad week last week, but that does not mean they're a bad team. They are not.
They just had a bad defense. They scored, I don't know how many points. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Nope. They're not a 3-point favorite over the Tennessee Titans.
3
bad.
points. 3 points.
That is the easiest spread of the week. They're gonna cover that by probably 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's stop disrespecting the Chargers over one bad week.
And this game pick's pretty easy as well, being a 395 favorite.
Yeah.
I got the Bills.
I also have the Bills. What is that spread? 8.5 points. I don't like the spread.
I don't either.
So I'm not going to take the spread. I'm also not going to take the money line because there's really no reason to add this to a parlay. It hurts you more than it would help you. So I do like the Bills here. The Bills will win this game by probably 7.
Okay, we got Seahawks Lions.
I actually want to hear what you got here.
Okay, so I thought about this one for a while as well. Geno Smith is a fraud. He fooled the Seahawks into signing him to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
And he looks like Geno Smith again.
He looks
I
like
got the
Geno
Lions,
Smith.
and I got the Lions beating their ass.
Yeah, the Lions are probably going to win this game by double digits. Yeah. Especially now that Charles Cross is questionable. The other tackle is on IR. So they're bringing somebody in probably from the practice squad. I think Aiden Hutchinson is going to feast. If Charles Cross doesn't play, Aiden Hutchinson might get 5 sacks. So I'm going Lions here with the spread. I think they're going to win by 10.
Okay, and then what else we got here?
I have my first 305 game.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a big one for the boys. It's going to be a big one. We got the Giants versus the Cardinals.
I got the Giants winning pretty easy.
Okay, thank God. I do too. It's a do or die game for the Giants after that absolute ass beating we got handed to us. Nobody's more disappointed, but I'm not making excuses for the Giants. That wasn't a type of loss you make an excuse for, all right? Every facet of that ball game, the Giants got their ass beat. But it is the Cardinals. The Cardinals are not a good football team. The Giants have talent and are a decent football team. So I'm taking the minus 5.5 point spread as well.
I would as well, yep. And I probably honestly would take that over because I do think the Cardinals will score. But I believe the Giants will score 30 plus by themselves.
I don't know how much the Cardinals will score, but yes, I do see the Giants putting up a nice, solid 35 piece.
The only reason I say that is because we all agree the Washington Commanders have a pretty decent defense.
Yeah.
Cardinals kept it a one-score game. That's my only thing. But I do think the Giants will win.
Yeah, but the Cardinals also got some of their points off of a Sam Howell turnover in Cardinals territory. And having a turnover in your own territory, not a very good look. We've seen how that goes.
Definitely not.
Pick 6.
Yep.
Pick 6.
49ers, Rams. I hope we're going the same way here because it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go the Niners.
Niners.
I don't know how much I like the 7.5 point spread, mainly because the Rams and the Niners always play good games. The talent mismatch is there. The Niners absolutely demolished the Steelers, but the Rams and Niners always play good games, so I don't like the spread.
So I do have to admit something. I was wrong about Brock Purdy.
Me too.
I said that he was the worst quarterback in that quarterback room. They traded away Trey Lance, sat Sam Darnold, threw in Purdy, and let's be honest, any NFL quarterback could probably play in that offense.
Yeah, well, I do agree with that, but Purdy is
great.
Purdy is making it his offense.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold couldn't do that. Trey Lance can't do that.
I'm not excited I'm not excited to play them again in the playoffs this year.
I'm not excited to play them again in like 4 weeks. I don't know when we play them, but I'm not excited to play them. That's for sure.
What we got?
We got another good one for you. This is a crazy spread to me. This is a crazy spread. I'm going to go Cowboys, but I think I like the Jets 9.5 point spread.
I wouldn't touch the spread. 9.5's a lot of points, but I do see a path where the Cowboys come away with 8 or 9 sacks this game.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
I don't like the under 38.5 points. I don't like the over 38.5 points.
No, I don't either.
I don't. It's a really low over, but I could see this being a 20-10 game. I don't see it.
I don't like the minus 455 betting on the Cowboys either.
There's just no reason to throw that in there.
There's just no money that needs to be put on this game.
Yeah,
because it is the Jets.
Yeah,
it is that Jets defense.
The Jets defense can single-handedly keep them in the game, and as long as they're in the game, the Jets defense is going to try and ball out, bring something home. So, but it is the Cowboys at home. I'm going with the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, another NFC East team, the Commanders, Broncos.
We're probably going to be split here, but I'm going with the Broncos again. Let's ride.
Yeah, Broncos for me. I believe in the Broncos this year.
I do too. Last week's loss was a fluke. Not sure what happened. Jimmy G is what happened, I guess. But
it was weird.
It was weird. It's a weird week for football.
Weird week. Sure. I don't believe
weird week
for
football, man. Me neither. Yeah. It's out of memory, out of sight.
All right.
Here's Sunday night football.
Out of memory, out of sight. Dolphins, Patriots.
Oh man, I know who I want to take here. I want to take the Patriots at home. But that's mainly because of my hate for Tua. Tua had a great week. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Final answer, lock it down.
I'm also going with Dolphins. I think that the offense is just going to be too much for the Patriots, and the Patriots don't really have an offense.
No, but they stayed in a pretty decent game with Philly last week up until the ending.
Yes.
So I mean that defense is going to keep them around.
I think the game, it was like low 20s. But I do believe, even though the Patriots are going to lose, Ramondre Stevenson and Ezekiel Elliott will be startable this week.
It's likely for sure. There's no defense to be had on that Dolphins team.
And another divisional matchup between the Saints and the Panthers.
I am not sure why this money line is so close. I'm taking the Saints here, and I'm taking the Saints 3-point spread. I might even go an alternate spread and say Saints by like 5.5 points. All right, I think this is going to be one that you can make some money on with an alternate spread bet. The Saints are going to whip the absolute dog shit out of this Panthers team, just like the Falcons did, except the Saints are a better team than the Falcons. So, take that how you will.
Are this Saints Falcons on Monday night?
Yeah.
So we're with the Browns Steelers. Also Monday night?
Yeah, there's a Monday night doubleheader.
Oh. Well,
yeah, they started that. They talked about doing it. I thought it was weird too, but yeah, they're opening it up Monday night. We got a 6:15 game and then a 7:20 game.
I'd be down if it was like a 6:30, 9:30 kind of thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm not sure why they aren't doing that.
Oh man, I like prime time. You only watch one game.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Yeah, you make a DraftKings lineup for one game. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I got Saints though.
100% Saints. Yes. And then
we got the Steelers-Browns.
We got the Monday night primetime game, I guess. Yeah, super weird setup this week. Definitely, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, look at it and make sure you have a plan for what game you want to watch. There's 2 games on Monday night, okay? We got the Browns and the Steelers. Who do you got?
It's Cleveland, baby.
I respectfully disagree. The Steelers had a really bad week against the Niners, and they got to open it up against a divisional opponent. The Browns, absolutely boat raced the Bengals. So I do see where you're coming from, but I think Kenny Pickett and the boys are going to come through at home.
I do not.
It's
the Browns.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's the Browns, -2. It's all of it.
I could see it happen. I could see it happening for sure.
Okay, there's our game picks. Recap of last week. I went 9-7, and Dustin had a very shitty week at 6-10. 3 of those coming on the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Actually, we both missed the Broncos. We both missed the Bills. So that shit happens. But hopefully we get back on better track. Maybe get you back to 500 this week, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Actually, it's if you're a longtime listener of the pod, you know that game picks are where I exceed the most. So it was a painful week for me. Probably my worst week in the history of the pod. So go ahead and mark it down. It will never happen again. I will probably never get less than 9 games wrong. Oh, right. Yeah. Less than 9 games right. I said that right. I'll probably never get less than 9 games right again. I think I'm going to absolutely blow this one away this week.
Let's do it.
Alrighty. So yeah, guys, that's all we got. You got any closing statements?
No. Just make sure, go see our Twitter, stuff like that.
Yup, pop by our TikTok. We got a TikTok pop in. Brett's been posting memes over there. Been keeping it fun and light. If you guys are from TikTok, it would be appreciated if you dropped us a sub. Trying to grow a fan base over here. Trying to grow a little following. So yeah, if you did enjoy the podcast, drop us a like. I don't think we've broken 10 likes on a podcast yet. So that'd be huge. And that's all I got.
All right.
The boys are back in town.